Hey everyone, welcome back to another session of the Barnabas-bot. So this is the second video. The first video, what we did was we created a copy of the 3D template file, and we also added our name to the front plate. So we're gonna go ahead and open up that file again, and we're gonna do a couple more things. What I want to do is I want to review and also go a little bit further into adding shapes to the front plate. And then secondly, I want to show you how to make a assembly file. That's a file where all the components of the robot come together, and we're able to see a preview of what the robot's going to look like when after it's all 3D printed and assembled. So let's go ahead and do that. Right now I'm on the Onshape page, and so when you log in, this is what you see. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and find my file. So this one. Okay. Now, if you can't find it for whatever reason, another thing you can do is if you go up here, you can just type your name, because you should have named it your name. So if you can search there, and then it will pop up too. Okay. Because maybe there are a bunch of files and you can't find it. Okay, so this is the file that I made before. If you don't see this, maybe you see something else, like maybe you see this because it's on a different file. You want to go down to the tab down here, the tabs, and then make sure you go to front plate dash words, because that's the file that we were working on last time. Okay. So let's go here. I'm gonna go to the front view, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and then actually I'm gonna right click on this. I'm gonna right click and drag just so I can see the angle view. So pretty cool. Okay, so we did our name, and then I quickly did an example of adding shapes. I'm gonna go ahead and delete the shapes for now because I want to start over. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to highlight one of the shapes, and then I'm going to left click. Okay. And let's see here. And actually what I want to do is I'm going to double left click. I'm going to double click on it. Not there. And so I'm showing you this is a good thing. So when I clicked on the middle of the circle, it highlighted the Edward Lee, but that's not what I want. So I'm going to click on the outside again. Okay, so I want to highlight the shape, right on the shape, and then double left click, and then the stuff gets the shapes get highlighted. Now, one thing I want to point out, you know how I clicked on this circle, but all of these shapes got highlighted and became blue. And what does it mean to become blue? It means that you have now accessed the sketch, meaning that you're able to change the drawing, and ultimately I want to delete it. Now again, like, why did it highlight all of this even though I just clicked on this one? Well, the reason is because all these shapes, 1, 2, 3, and 4, these 4 shapes are on the same sketch. And if you look over here on the left, you'll see the sketch 2 is the one that's kind of got this gray bar on it, meaning that's the one that's active, the blue one right now. And so what's a sketch? A sketch is just imagine it's like a drawing. And so our drawing, called sketch number 2, contains these 4 things. And then if we go back and kind of remember, we also did something called extrude. Now when I double clicked on this one, sketch 2 became active, and then you also see extrude 4 also became active. And so just as a review, extrude means that you're able to take your drawing, or sketch 2 in this case, and you're either able to make it pop up, extrude out, or engrave in, meaning or extrude in. Okay, so I want to actually delete the extrude and also the sketch. Okay, so I'm going to take extrude, I'm going to delete it. Okay, and I just highlighted it and then press delete or backspace on my computer, and then it's gone. Now, you see, once I did that, it's not popping out anymore. The reason is because I deleted the extrude. And then now I want to also delete the sketch 2. So I can just click here on sketch 2. So it's highlighted, and then press delete. I'll show you another way. If you don't want to press delete on the keyboard, you can also right click on sketch 2 and delete. And then there. Go front view. Now it's no longer there. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to add a shape, and I want to challenge everyone to add a shape just so that you get the experience of doing some more advanced things on the CAD, okay? So I'm just going to make something up. Let's say I want to add a sun to my front plate because I like the sun, let's say, all right? So what do? I need to add a sketch first, and then I want to extrude that sketch. Okay, so I'm going to add a sketch or a drawing, and then I'm going to make the drawing after I'm done 3D by extruding out or extruding in. So I need to go to here, top left, and click on my sketch tool. And now it says sketch plane. And we went over this last time, but as a review, what does sketch plane mean? Sketch plane basically means the surface that you want to draw on. Do you want to draw on the side piece right here, the side edge? Do you want to draw on the Edward Lee, like on this D right here? Is that where you want to draw? Or do you want to draw on the surface of the front plate? Well, I want to draw on the surface of the front plate. So I'm going to, on basically this surface right here. So I'm going to click on there, left click on there, and then we're good to go. Okay, so once you do that, now all these tools come out here. All right, now the first tool we're going to use is a circle, because the sun, the face of a sun is a circle, right? So I'm going to go here and click on my circle tool. And the way this works is I want to put, where do I want to put the center of my circle? Let's say right, I'm kind of going to put it to the side. So I'm going to put it right here. And then once I clicked it, I can now make my circle sun really big or really small. I'm going to do something like that. Okay, so I have my circle, but then now I also need some rays. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to use another tool called the line tool. So within my same sketch, because I'm still working on my same drawing, right? I'm going to go and click on line. And then what I want to do now is I want to create closed shapes using the line. All right, this is what I mean. So I'm going to go like this. I just click, and then I just move my lines and connect the dots. So there we go. And it's a closed shape. You can see that this is a triangle. If I left it open, it's not going to work, okay? I'll show you what I mean. So if I go like this, and then just stop there, okay? What's going to happen is that this one is going to work. You're going to be able to extrude, but then this one right here, it's not closed up, so you're not going to be able to extrude, okay? The reason why is it's going to say, well, what do you want me to extrude? I'm not sure. It's going to extrude whatever is inside the lines. Okay, on this one, there's nothing really inside the lines because it's not closed up. So let's go ahead and close this up. There. Now that one's happy. And then let's just keep going. So add another one. You gotta make sure you close it up. And I'm gonna do this kind of fast just as an example. Okay, now when you do it, I want you to be precise, you know, try to make it as neat as possible. And you also notice one thing, that when I try to close my shape, you see when I'm out here, I'm not really sure, you don't see that yellow pop up. if you move close to it, you see the yellow pops up, and then you can click, kind of guides you. So it's saying, okay, you gotta click it here. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going here. And if you want, you can. Okay, so I'm kind of off here. Okay, you see it starting big and it got smaller. So I would want to fix that, but because this is just a demo video, I'm just kind of leave it there. Just leave it as is. Okay, cool. All right. Not perfect, but you can kind of get the idea. Now let's say I kind of like my drawing, but I kind of don't like my drawing. Let's say I want to, fix something, or this one right here, I want to delete it. So what we can do is we're gonna want to use the cut tool. Let's see. So over here you see the scissors, and there's a trim. So let's use trim. And let's say now I just zoom in and say, okay, I don't like this line. I can click on it. I don't like this line. Click on it. Okay, and then let's say I want to draw back or bring it back. Then I go back to my line tool and draw back. Okay. Now let's say you want to do something that you want to add something in your drawing that's not just straight lines, but that has curves in it. And so with that, we want to use something called the spline tool. So up top here, I'm going to use spline. Okay, and spline is, you're going to be able to make like a wave or a curvy thing. So I'm gonna draw like some lines up here that will symbolize wind. Okay, so I can see what I'm doing here. I just click and then I move my mouse. I don't have to drag it. Oh, let me zoom out here. Just click and then move. And remember, it has to be a closed shape. So I guess I'm going with sun and the wind. And it's just a random thought in my mind. Okay, you guys will have something else. So let's go ahead and do another one. You can get pretty complex with this thing. You can imagine you can really do anything that you want. Let's say if you wanted to do calligraphy, like write your name in calligraphy instead of using these fonts here, you could do that, right, using the spline tool. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna say that I like it. Let's say you like it. Again, this is not a work of art right here, right? I'm just sketching it out. Again, for you, take your time and make this thing exactly how you want it to be. But once you're ready, so your sketch is good. You notice that these are blue, right? And that they're all closed up. So that means that it's ready to go. So now it's 2D, but it's not 3D yet. The way to make it 3D, we got to extrude. So while this is all blue, we're going to click over here. That's the extrude tool. I'm going to click on that. Okay. And it will automatically want to pop out at you. So it goes to add. That's just what it does. I'm going to rotate here, and it is super thick. Okay. I'm going to do our little trick here. You can click on this little arrow, click and drag, and kind of drag it down. What do I think about that? I think I could go a little bit more. So it's 0.06. Another way to change it is you can just type in the depth here. I'm going to say 0.03. Okay. Press enter, and it went down. I'm going to green check mark it. And there we go. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now let's say I wanted to engrave in instead of pop out. Now I noticed something here. You see how this part is kind of darkened? I'm not sure exactly, but what I think it is, if you look closely, you see this triangle is on this kind of curved edge. So the fact that I extruded outward away from the plate but on this curved edge, there may be a part of this that is kind of like in the air, you know, is because there's this curve downward over here. Oh, yep. I just went on the left view and check it out. See, part of this is in the air. There's this gap right here. And so I think what it's doing is telling me, you know, it's pointing this out. Hey, there's a weird thing here. So that's not going to be great when I do 3D printing, because going back to this left side view, when I print, you're going to have a gap here, and it's not going to be able to print that very well. Okay, and we'll talk more about that when we get to the 3D printing process. But how we're going to print is actually like this. I'm going to rotate. Okay, we're going to print like this, where it's laying down like this, and it would do the first part down here and then slowly move up. Now you'll notice if I do that, as I'm printing, you're going to have this area here. This is called overhang. And this is overhang because you're trying to print this part right here, okay, but there's just nothing here. It's just air. So what's going to happen is that your printing material is going to just drop down here instead of staying up here because there's nothing here to support it. Now there's ways to fix that, but it's a big hassle and just something we don't want to deal with right now. So how do I fix that? So going back here, so what I want to do then is, instead of extrude out where it's popping out, I want to extrude in. So how do I do that? Well, let's just go to my extrude. So my extrude is this one, extrude 4. Let's say I didn't know that. How would I know which extrudes? It's a bunch of extrudes here. Well, here's a little trick. If you move your mouse over here and just highlight these different extrudes, like don't click on it, just so if I put it over extrude 1, you see my name gets highlighted. That means that this controls my name. This extrude 1 controls my name. If I go over 4, it highlights the sun and the wind. So that means extrude 4 controls the wind. Cool. So now that I'm there, let's double click on that. And I don't want to pop out. I want to go in. So I'm going to say remove now. Okay. And then we kind of ran into this before. You see it's kind of this reddish color. That's not a good thing. It means that it says selected tools and targets do not intersect. Basically, your extrude is kind of messed up right now. So whenever you when you switch directions, you want to do remove now, but then you also want to click on this one to kind of fix that. So it's telling it to change directions, okay? So now it's extruding in. And I'm going to do a green check mark to save my work and check it out. So I'm going to go to my left side now. So I don't have that issue now because it's extruding into it. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, so I have my sun, and I also have my wind, and I have my name. Very cool. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to do a assembly file. So this is my front plate. I also have some other body parts. All right, and I want to put those body parts onto one single file. So here we go. We're going to create an assembly file. So if I go here, move my mouse to the bottom left to the plus sign, I'm going to say create assembly. Okay, and then you wait a second. It's going to be a blank file. Okay. That's okay. It's blank because we haven't added anything to it yet. So first thing we want to do, go insert. Okay. and then we want to insert and go down. Front plate words. That's the file that we were just working on here. And then I'm gonna put it in. Now, let me do that again. I kind of rushed through that. Okay, I'm going to click insert. Left click on front plate words, and you see it's yellow here. So I didn't click anything after I clicked on front plate words. It just turns yellow. Now you place it onto your assembly file. The way you do that is you just find a place, like right here is fine, and you left click, and it becomes this gray color. That means you have placed it. Okay, so you just want one of those. Then you want to go and find the body. Okay, take body, left click. It's going to be yellow, and then you want to place it. Now you want to line it up as best as possible. You'll be able to fix it in a second, but line it up as best as possible. Like, let's say like that. Okay. So right now it's placed, but it's not perfect. Okay. So I'm going to green check mark this, and what I want to do now is I want to pull this plate out to the front of this. Okay, it's inside the middle of the body right now. That's not how it's supposed to work. So I'm gonna go to the right view. Okay, and then I'm gonna move my mouse until I can see there. There we go. Then this is kind of important. Slowly, let's listen. You have to left click and drag. Sorry, left click, hold down and drag. So I left click, I'm holding it down, then I drag, and then I can move it out. And there we go. So I'm on the right view right now, so I can get my side view all corrected, and it's supposed to be like that. And notice that this hole here is close to the front of the front plate. Okay, you don't want to have the plate over on this side. All right, it has to be over here. And then let's zoom out, and that is, oh, I was gonna say it's perfect, but it's not. Because if I look at my front view, I still have this sliver right here, right? So let's fix that. So I'm going to go to the front view, and then click and drag. Now that looks pretty good. Okay. So the key there, first place your parts, go to the right view, fix it, and then go to the front view and fix it. So because we're working in 3D, you might fix it on one view, and then you think it's perfect, but then you look at the other view and it's totally off. Okay, so you got to make sure you look at least the side view and the front view to get it correct. Okay, next thing, let's add our head. So I'm gonna go insert, and then for this class, we're gonna go with the dome head. So let's find the dome head. We're gonna click it. Oh, and there we go, and we're just gonna place it. All right, again, we can move it later. We also have a dome head bottom. Click on that, dome head bottom, and put it here. Okay, this looks kind of messed up. Don't worry, we will fix it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go to the front view, and I'm gonna zoom out with the scroll, and then I'm gonna center everything by clicking down on the scroll and then moving it. Okay, so first thing, let's move the head. So I'm gonna left click on the head and drag. The head should be about there. Okay, that was easy, and it's centered already. Yeah, I go on the left side, it's centered. Maybe I want to move it over a little bit, so I'm gonna click and drag. Again, I want to do it in 2 views, right? Okay, at least 2. Sometimes 3 or 4 views, but at least 2 views. Gonna make sure, check every side, make sure it's okay. All right, so I have that. Now this is supposed to snap into the bottom of the head there, but it's messed up. So I'm gonna go to the left view. So this needs to be rotated, and it slips into the bottom of the head. So how do I do that? Okay, here we go. So I'm on the left view. What I do is go and make sure it's my bottom piece is yellow, so it's highlighted in yellow. Then I'm going to left click one time and let go. Left click one time and let go. Okay, so once I do that, you'll see there's these triangles here. or arrows, and then there's this circle here. What you do, this circle is kind of the rotation circle. So you click and hold down on that circle right here, and then you're able to then rotate. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to click and hold it down, and as I'm holding, I can rotate until I have it. And you see there's these degrees here as I'm moving it. Right now it says 85. It says 105. I want it to be 90 degrees. But it's at 100 right now. So another trick, you can also just highlight that, type in 90 and press enter, and then it'll go to that degree for you, okay? Okay, so now I'm centered, or I'm rotated correctly. I'm gonna move that. Then I can click and drag and slide it under. I think it should be like right like that. But let's change my view, and you can see from the front view it's off. So let's go ahead and click and drag. And there we go. Not bad. So I have the bottom plate, then I also have the head there. All right. The other thing I want to do is I want to put in some motors here. So the servo motors are actually going to go here, here, and here. Okay? And those are the things that it's going to control the arms and the head. So let's go ahead and add the servo motors. Here, insert, insert. And I'm going to go down, servo. I'm going to just put 3 of them. 1, click again. 2, click again, and 3. All right. So now I have to get these into there. All right. So let's show you something. Okay. So you see this part right here? I've clicked on it to make it yellow. This part right here, it actually fits perfectly into these sections here. You'll notice that, you know, there's this big circle and then this little circle. They fit in together. So what we're going to have to do is kind of rotate these so that they all fit in. All right, let's do the head one first. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Okay. So let's take this one and let's click and drag and put it near the head. So it's going to be around here. Again, we're going to have to rotate. I'm going to rotate. I guess you could do this. You just click bottom view and it might kind of align it for you. That was interesting. Okay, I'm good. Bottom view. And then I'm going to click and drag this one. And I can't really see what's going on, but I know it's around there, right? Oh, actually, that was pretty good. And then I'm going to move around. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this for now, just so I can see the motor better. And did you notice both of those things were grouped together and they were moving together? So a way to do that is you click on one and click on the other, and once they're both yellow, you can now click and drag and they both move. Okay, so that's like a little trick. Alright, so let's go back here. Let's make sure my motor is good. So when you're doing this, I did the head first. Maybe you want to do the motors first because you might have to end up moving it. Alright, so let's go top view and let's move this over. Okay, cool. And you'll notice these little these holes will match up as well. That looks pretty good. Okay, and so now let's move my head back. And what's nice at what we're doing here is that our robot, when we assemble it, it's going to go through the same process. And the fact that you do it through 3D, you're going to be that much more prepared. So I'm going to top view and kind of center this. Again, what you'll see what I'm doing, I'm going on different views and fixing it. Because we're in 3D. It might look good in one view, but not the other. Okay. So your head's supposed to look like this. Now, let's do the arms. All right. So I need to take, I'm going to go in the back view. I'm going to take one of these, drag it over here, and okay. So I'm going to put this one into this socket right here. So what I need to do is click on here, and I need to rotate this 90 degrees. I'm just going to type in 90. And I think that is good. Yeah. So let's go to the left view here. And I'm going to move it over. Okay. And a little sneak preview here with these motors. So you see there's this white part and then this circle here. This white part is what turns when the motor turns, and then this hole is going to be where things screw in. Okay, that's why we want to make sure that this white part is sticking out. All right, so we have that. That's lined up from the left side, but probably not from the back side. So the back view, then I'm going to click and drag, and it's going to look something like this. Okay, so you want the white part's going to be popping out, and then this part, this bottom blue part, will be popping out as well. Okay, all right. And then just so if you're curious, what's up with these two holes, this hole and this hole here? Well, these are mounting screws. Okay, so a screw is going to go here, and a screw is going to go there, and that's what's going to help hold the motor to the robot body. All right, so I got two motors. I got this one. This one's going to be trickier, I think. So I'm going to move it. All right, so I think I need to rotate this one twice. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this motor and rotate by 90 and see how close it gets me. Okay. Okay, so this one's different, right? Because this little notch is up here, but I need the notch down there. So I rotated it once. I need to rotate it again. So I'm gonna go. I'm looking at it here. I'm gonna in this view. Then I'm gonna click on it one time, and then I need to rotate. So it's this little circle here popped up. So I'm gonna click and drag, and I'm gonna rotate it this way. So this motor I need to rotate twice. Just makes it a little bit tricky. There we go. Oh, it's at 177. That's not what I want. I want exactly 180. Sometimes it's a little tricky. It's not doing what you want it with the mouse. So I'm just gonna type 180. There we go. Click out here. Okay. Now I click and drag and then line it up as best I can. Okay, so it's probably pretty good on the right view, but probably not the front view, right? So let's go to the front view and let's slide it in. It's gonna go somewhere around there. Can't really see what's going on because I need to go to the back view. Fix it this way. I'm gonna zoom in here. Okay, and I can't see this part, so let's go to the side view, the right view. There. So as it gets more complicated, you're going to have to go to different views to kind of get it right. But there we go. And then I rotate. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, I got a head. I got 3 motors. Let's also add the arms. Let's insert. arm. So I need one arm. Put it as best I can. It's going to connect like this with a little bit of the white part of the motor showing. And let's also add a second arm. And it needs to be rotated. I'm just going to put it here for now. Okay. Let's go to the right view. Let's move one arm. Okay. Oh, that actually worked out perfectly. And let's also do the other arm. Now this needs to be rotated, so I'm gonna click once, get my little circle, and click and drag. And I know it's gonna be 90 degrees, so cool, worked out. Click and drag. And then let's check. Oh, that's totally off there. So I'm gonna go to the left view, click and drag, and line it up. And this looks pretty good. Again, you might be wondering how I'm doing this. In order to do this, kind of make it rotate like this, you just do a right click, like hold down the right click and drag the mouse. Okay, let's go back to the front view. All right, we got arms but no hands. So let's insert. We got hand 1 and hand 2. All right. Now the hand also, the way the hand, so the wrist needs to be connected. That's pretty obvious, right? And we want the thumbs facing inward, okay? So this one is already facing inward, so that will be good. So I'm going to click on this. I need to rotate it. Now, right now, I see this circle. I can click and drag. And that's not the way I want to rotate, actually. I want to rotate another way. So the way you do that, let's say I want to be able to rotate another way, you can kind of change your view, okay? And as we change our view, I want you to notice that other circles pop up. Look, when I change to this view, I see there are 3 circles, 1, 2, and 3, okay? So basically there are 3 ways that you can rotate, but you can only see all 3 if you click around and you change your view a little bit so you can see those circles. So now that I see all 3 circles, which one do I want to do? I want to actually do this one. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag and keep rotating. Okay, I'm going to change my view now, front view. Or, well, once I do front view, I can't see that circle anymore, so let me go this way. Here we go. The left view, I can see that circle that I'm working with. I was working with this circle here. Okay. Here, it's not going exactly 79. Okay, I'll just say that's close enough. So now I'm done rotating. All right, so that looks pretty good. Thumbs facing in. I'm gonna click and drag. Looks good. All right, let's fix it a little bit. All right, that looks good. That looks good. Great. And then let's do the same thing with this guy. Now this one, I just need to rotate this one. All right, so the other hand that I did first was actually harder. This one I only need to rotate 1 time. Well, actually, I need to rotate the other one just 1 time as well, but I need to find the actually rotation, the right rotation circle. Now this one shows the one that I want is on the front view, so nice and easy. Just rotate it like this. Cool. And then let's drag this. there. Let's fix it, go to the right view, click and drag, there. All right, so we have the front, we have the arms, we have the hands and the motors. The last thing that we want to add on here is cover the back. Now the back is actually going to be the brain or the computer, and this is it's called Arduino, and we'll get more into the details there. But for today, we got to put a computer on the back. So let's go ahead and insert that. We're going to insert the Barnabas noggin. That's the computer brain. I'm going to click on that. Okay, just taking a second here. This is a little bit of a bigger file, so it might be taking a little bit of a time to think here. Let's give it a second here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is a bigger file, so you saw that it took a second there, so you might need to wait a little bit. But here it is. So it's yellow. I'm going to place it down. Okay. Now I need to rotate this thing. So the first thing I want to do is rotate it. Oh, okay. So right now I want to rotate, but I can't. See, I clicked on it, but my little rotation circles didn't come out. So this is perfect. That happens sometimes. The reason it's not out is because you're still in insert mode. So you see this green check mark? Click the green check mark first so that you're no longer in insert mode. Now you can get those circles to show up. Okay? So then click on that, and then you got your circles. Alright, then I'm going to rotate it so that the feet are at the right place. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, the feet are at the right place. I'm going to go to the front view. The feet are at the right place, but this blue part should be facing the other way. Okay, so let me first move it. I click and drag. And then this is, you see I have these other parts here that have fallen off. So I'm going to click. That's not good. I'm going to undo that. Okay. I have some parts that have fallen off here. Okay, I'm going to click undo. Okay, there we go. So it looks like I have some parts that fall off here. So what I'm going to do is highlight all my parts like that. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that again. I'm going to click and just select all this here, and then so that's all yellow, and then do the rotate. Okay, so which one do I want here? I want to do this one. Click and drag. And I want to be at 90 degrees. That's good. And then while I'm here, I need to have this part facing the other way. So let's go ahead and rotate that. How am I going to do that? So I think it's this circle. Yeah, because I want this to be rotated so it's facing outside. So then I'm going to take this circle, click and drag so that it's facing out. Probably. And as you're doing it, it's always going to be like 90, 180, 270. So as you kind of click and drag, you'll kind of see what number is close to your target. So 180 is the one. Then I'm going to press enter. We're actually not yet. I'm going to rotate. So it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do the back view. And let's see if I can move this guy. It doesn't allow me to move it. Oh, it does. It's just really slow. Okay. Let's keep moving. Again, it's really slow because we're working with the cloud, and this file here is, again, kind of big, so you gotta be patient with this one, okay? Okay, it's there. Alright, I'm keeping it yellow because I had to do that thing where I had to select it all. So I'm trying to do this all at one time. Okay, and then now it's inside there. I need to move it out, so let's go to the left view. And I want just I want just the thing on the inside. So if I click here, see it highlighted the this on body area. I don't want that. Just on the inside. So I'm going to move my mouse here and then drag. And we're almost there. It's going to come out here. We are almost lined up there. And then I'm gonna, there we go. We are just about done there. So that looks pretty good. All right. So I have my body, my front plate, my head. I have my robot brain on the back there. All right. So now that we've done all that, the last thing I'm going to do is create a drawing. Okay, so I'm going to click here. And I'm going to create a drawing now. Okay, and I'm going to click on... Let's see here. And you know what? I clicked on the wrong thing. Let's do cancel here. So I clicked plus here and then say create drawing. That's not what I want to do. Actually, I want to go over here on the assembly 1 tab. So that's the assembly file. I'm going to right click and then say create drawing of assembly 1. I was like, what's going on? So you want to create a drawing of this assembly. And left click there, and then now you can click on 4 views and click OK. And it's going to take a little time. So this will be the drawing that you can print out. It's going to be printed out and go along with your kit. I think it's pretty cool. You can check it out. See, it says it's a 3D view of your robot. All right, and just some context, whenever you are doing mechanical engineering in industry, like in your job, this is what it's going to be like. You create your CAD file, and then you create this drawing, and then now you can take this drawing and send it to your coworkers or to your boss and saying, this is what I'm thinking for my robot, and they'll be able to check out your robot before you even print it out or before you even build it, which is the beauty of CAD software. So you can see exactly what it looks like before you actually even build anything. All right, so this is our drawing. Now you see it says CJ Humphreys, kind of random, right? Let's go where it says CJ Humphreys and double click on that, And let's delete that and let's put our name and word L for me. And I think we are good to go. Let's make sure I can see everything here. All right. So at this point, we are finished. We have our assembly 1 CAD file, and then we also have our drawing here. So the next step that's going to happen is that we're going to take these files and we're actually going to print them out on the 3D printer. So the next session, I'll talk about the basics of 3D printing and what's going to happen in terms of how do we get these files into a 3D printer and then have an actual 3D printed robot. So we'll explore that next time. Good luck with this. As you see, I actually wanted to make a little bit of longer video so you can see the whole process. You'll see because of the angles and the clicks and things, it gets a little bit tricky. It may be a little frustrating at first. I want you to hang in there. As I said, this is in the previous video, this is a industry grade software, meaning that people use, mechanical engineers in the workplace use this software. So it is going to be a little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it'll start becoming smoother and smoother, and the advantage is that you're actually experiencing real world mechanical engineering right now. Okay, so hang in there, and it's going to be cool because once you finish it, you're going to get a 3D printed robot that is exactly like it looks right here in your drawing. Okay, any questions, feel free to add in the comment section. Good luck and have fun.